Welcome to day one of your creating your perfect future life that you want. And you're going to start doing that today, not tomorrow, not in the next hour. You're starting right now. What often happens is the mind decides, let me hear this first, and then I'll decide, right? So I want you, before I even open my mouth, to decide, you know what? I've been doing this for so many years and it's not working for me. If it's worked for Claire, it's definitely going to work for me. So, what I want you to do is, I want you to decide right now, this is it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to put it all in. Because once you make a decision, you're halfway there. The rest falls itself in. But if you're half heartedly going into a decision, you're going to get a half hearted answer. You're going to get a half hearted manifestation or creation of what you actually want. So, how badly do you want this in your life? Then decide right now. I am full in. So at the end of this email, when you have read this, I want you to reply with, yes, I am full in, confirming this is what you're going to do. And what have you got to lose, right? Follow the system and see if it works. So let's go for it. All right, so how this works is, I'm going to give you a quick outlay. I make it as easy as possible. Easy as possible. I don't want you to battle with lots and lots and lots of stuff that you actually don't know. This one says this and this one says this, and you're actually getting confused. Mine is going to be very simple. Present, past, future, action, and evidence. That is it. Okay, so today we are going to start with the present, the now. Where are we? What do we want? And how are we going to get there? So here's your golden nugget for today. I didn't understand this until I started figuring this out, right? Have you ever heard this? Somebody says to you, if you want to manifest something, start with something small or start with one thing. So I would be like, money is a problem right now. Okay. And I would take all my manifestation efforts and I would throw it into money. Okay. And then all of a sudden, while I'm working on this, my health and wellness fell apart and I pick up 20 kilos and I'll be like, ow. And then I'm freaked out by that. So now I'm suddenly working on this. And now money's falling apart or my relationship's falling apart. It's always like, when you put all your focus into one thing, it's like the others suffer and you actually don't get where you want to come, or you have these big ups and downs, a roller coaster that we spoke about, right? This is where you find yourself. So your golden nugget is, you can have it all. And what I want you to do is, I want you to start focusing on all 8 areas in your life, not just one area. You're going to go, geez, that's a lot. Yes. How badly do you want to sort out your life? And do you just want to fix one area? Or do you just want to have it, like one area up and the next area down? Or do you want to start building this as a foundation and building your whole life into something new? So your golden nugget is, we're going to start working on all 8 areas and you're going to see a difference. So in life coaching, there are 8 areas of life. So before I give you the 8 areas of life, now you kind of know my story of how I realized that one area at a time wasn't working. What I'm going to need from you is, grab a piece of paper and a pen. So pause this now, grab a piece of paper and a pen, and there's a reason we're going to do this. Okay. And when you finish, come back and we'll carry on our discussion. So I'll come back. Have you got your pen and paper? So take notes. And the first area of your life, you can either do this in a circle, like a pie chart, in eight parts, right? I like to do it this way, but you can just write each area, and next to it, we're going to give it a number, a scoring. Okay, so the first area is health and fitness. I want you to score yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 of, where are you in your health and fitness? Let's say you are quite fit, but you are sick. Or let's say you are healthy, but you're not fit, or you're not happy with your body. Because I remember a time that I was in a size 22. I felt terrible. I felt I couldn't stand myself. I couldn't be around myself, right? You have to decide where you are in the scale. And this part, you're going to be brutally honest. Nobody's going to see your piece of paper, but you need to be honest with you. So if you get a 1 or a 2 or a 3 or a 6, or perhaps your health is fantastic and you go to gym, you eat right, you're looking great, then score yourself an 8, 9 or a 10. But I want you just to be real with yourself. So score yourself, 10 being the best, 1 being the least. So go for it now. Health and fitness, where are you? 1 out of 10. Okay, the next area that we're going to look at is your relationships. Now, there's 2 parts to the relationship. One is your love relationship, your partner, if you have one or not, and score yourself. So you're going to have a split here, right? And the next one is relationships with your family and your friends and your colleagues and everybody else. So just give it an overall, a general, because you want to get a feel for it, right? And now that you've given it out of a 10 score, what I want you to do is look at your career. Now, how do you feel in your career? Have you got a yes, I've got a 10 out of 10 career, everything's great? Or, I've always wanted to be this and I'm deeply unhappy in this job that I have right now. So be honest again. Doesn't matter what the answer is, you just want a starting point. So the next one is your finances. And I want you to say, right, where am I in right now? So the idea about this is now, not the future, not the past. Where are you right now? Okay, score yourself at a 1 out of 10. 1 being the least, 10 being the best life in your finances. Then your personal development. This is, how do you grow every day? Are you watching videos? Are you doing courses? Or are you binging Netflix for 8 hours a day? So you have to try and say, like, how much I'm putting in my mind and how much am I working on myself to get myself to the next level? It might be a 1, and that's okay. Listening to this might be a number 1. Or you might be doing this 24/7. You're listening to podcasts, videos, courses. You're on every platform there is, and you're really growing, right? You can give yourself an 8, 9, or 10 when you're up there. So again, just be real with where you are right now. The next one is fun and recreation. Why do we always forget that one? How often do you do fun things? Now, fun could be anything that's fun for you, not fun for the Joneses next door, fun for you, fun for your family. Does it mean you go to the little park and you go and swing like a child, like I did yesterday? I went with the kids and we were seesawing and we were doing all funny things and just having fun. When last have you done that, right? We think we're adults, we can't do it anymore. Okay. But fun for you perhaps might be going for a hike, or fun might be just walking around your neighborhood and just being in nature. Okay. Fun, 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 fun. Now, here is a fun fact. You have to create fun. Fun doesn't come to you. That was a big flaw that I had. I used to think fun had to come to me. People had to make my life fun. Fun had to come from within me, and I had to create the fun for fun to manifest in my life. Well, that is just a little extra nugget for you today. Again, score yourself 1 out of 10 when it comes to your fun and your recreation. And now we're going to go on to a very big one, and that is your physical environment. How do you feel about where you are in your space? Are you happy? Is it the place where you want to live in the country? Is your home sufficient? How do you feel about it? The things around you, your furniture, the stuff, your computer, how do you feel about it? Perhaps you're content and you're happy and you're 6, 8, 9, 10. Or perhaps you're going, you know what, I'm in a place I don't want to be in. I don't know how I got here, and I need to get out of this. I'll score yourself a 1 or 2 or wherever you think you are. Now for the last one, it is your spirituality. Now, the first time I heard this, remember, I was in this deep, dark place and I thought, spirituality, I think I've always kind of been like a nice person, giving, always like think of other people, empathic, but I wouldn't necessarily say I'm spiritual, but, I wasn't going to church. And then I realized spirituality and religion are 2 different things. So just on how you're feeling with yourself, within yourself, okay? So how do you communicate with a higher being, God? How do you have that conversation? Do you ask for advice? Are you intuitive? Do you get answers? Or are you just going, I don't believe in that, but perhaps I believe in my subconscious mind, or perhaps I believe in my higher self? Whatever it is, that is your spiritual journey that you're on. And again, I want you just to rate yourself 1 to 10, 10 being the very spiritual and 1 not so spiritual. Where are you in your journey right now? And now that you're going to have a bird's eye view of where you are on your chart or what you wrote down next to it, I want you just to look at the areas that you think that, these areas might need a little bit more help, and these areas I'm okay in. It doesn't mean we're not going to work on the okay areas. We are going to keep those up. Otherwise, those areas fall flat when we're working on the areas we want to. But it's a good idea to know exactly where we are on our journey, which makes it quite fun. Now, the second part of this is, and you're already going to go, ooh, okay, this was quite a bit today. Now starts the big work. We're in the whole run, right? We're doing this. So why did I say a pen and paper earlier? Your mind thinks at supersonic speed. It can have 60,000 thoughts just like that. And let me give you an example. I bet in the time that I was talking to you, you already thought what's for breakfast or dinner. You already thought I have to go to the store and do that. You already thought about the kids' food or maybe clothing I have to pick up, work I still have to do, this presentation, and what am I having for dinner tonight? Can you see what your brain did in literally seconds? So by the way, that's normal. It's human. It's brain. I've learned a lot about the brain and how it works. In the beginning, it used to bug me that I could not stay focused in an area, right? But what the next part is going to teach us is to slow it down and to really focus on what we want. And that is by the word journaling. You're going to say, I've heard of this journaling, or I've been journaling for a while and it doesn't really work. Let me tell you one thing. Not only is there a heart brain connection, your arm's literally in the middle of the two and you're connecting the two by writing, but it slows down the brain waves. It puts you in a different brain altering state, and it slows your brain enough down to find more things that you wouldn't necessarily think of when your mind is doing that supersonic thing. When you slow it down, it starts showing you other areas and go, oh yeah, I remember that. Oh yes, this happened then. Oh, I never thought about that, but this is actually why I want something. And that is the beauty about journaling. Now, there's 2 ways to do this. You either find yourself a life coach or a manifesting coach, and that coach will ask you these questions and bring out those answers out of you. But if you don't have a coach, well, here's a coach telling you there's a way to do this without the coach, and that is going to be journaling. And what the journaling does is it allows us to get to know us and see parts of us that we didn't know we had. So it is exciting, but it is a commitment that you're going to sit and you're going to work through the questions that we give you daily for you to get a deeper understanding of exactly where you are and the things you're missing and why you're not getting to your creation points. So what I want you to do is I want you to either grab a pen and paper. You can make a print and get a beautiful journal. You can do it anyway. I just usually grab any old book that's next to me, and there's like hundreds of these books all over the house. And I literally just fill them up. And sometimes I never read them again. But it's that slowing down of the brainwave that allows for us to see things in a different light. Now, I have coaches, and even coaches need coaches, yes, because coaches just ask you something and they see something that we don't see, and they ask it that you go, oh, aha, I didn't get it, right? But if you really want to do this and you want to journal into this and have the same aha experiences, this is the way to go. So even I journal every single day. Now, what did we journal on? So remember I said today we're talking about the present moment in where are you now? So where are you now? What I want you to do is I want you to grab a pen, and the first thing I want you to write is, where am I now? In other words, explain your life in detail. Just write. And it could be one words, it could be sentences. It doesn't matter. You just need to get the juices going, right? The flowing writing juices. And what you're going to do is you're going to say, where am I now? I am here in my finances, and I got there because you don't even have to write there. And I am here, and this is where I'm at in the now. Try not to bring the past too much into it because we're going to work on that later. So just I'm here now. Okay, that's your first one. In each of those areas that you wrote down, that you scored earlier, now go back and just say, health and fitness. This is where I am now. Okay. Once you have a good understanding of where you are now, the more you write, you're going to see the more's going to come. And you think that you just finished, and more's going to come. So that's the joy of journaling. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is I want you to write down, what do I want? What do I want in each and every one of those areas? And you can write one thing, you can write 10 things. It actually doesn't matter. So what you want to do, you want to say, right, health and fitness, I am okay. So yes, Claire, great. You have lost an enormous amount of weight. Your body's good. However, I am here now. What do I want? I still want to carry on working on my body because now my next target is to get to this, right? So you want to write that in your health and fitness. Perhaps walk more often, or go to gym, or just move more often, or perhaps it's eating healthier, or perhaps it is being in flow state. Perhaps you want to work on whichever area you're in, you need to say, where do you want to be? Where? Like you need to decide, what do I want? You know how many people I have coming to me as clients the first time around, they know they have a problem, but they don't know what they want. Half the time, once you clear up what you want, it just happens. But a lot of us don't know that we have to be very specific with what we want. Now that you've written down what you want, here comes the interesting part. And yes, it's going to take a little bit of journaling, but you're going to be so happy you did it because you're going to definitely have some aha moments. Is say, why do I want it? Now, if you say, why do I want it? Here's the interesting thing. The mind's going to say, because I want to look good in a dress, a specific dress that you have in mind. Okay, why do you want to look specifically good in that dress? Because I want to feel good within myself. Okay, why do you want to feel good within yourself? So what you do is you ask yourself on the same question 7 times. You ask yourself why. But here's the thing, don't just go and write the answer. What you want to do is you really want to think about, why do I want to look good in a dress? Why? Okay, because it'll make me feel like proud of myself. Oh, why do you want to be proud of yourself? What is with that? Okay, I want to be proud because I've never really felt proud of myself. I've been putting myself down a lot. Okay, well, why have you been putting yourself down a lot? Like, why do you want to feel proud of yourself? So kind of you start opening up this can. You start broadening your vision, and you start finding out what's really going on under here. But you can only do that once you've asked yourself 7 times why. Now, here's a nice thing. Every time I do it with a client, what they wanted here and said they want, by the time they get down to 7 levels deep, what we call 7 levels deep, and this was a Tony Robbins thing. I remember when I did one of his courses, started this, but it's also brought into life coaching as well, where they go into the deep whys. Now, the why is the thing that drives you. If you can figure out what that why is, you'll find a lot of the areas just suddenly go instead of one area, because they kind of interlink with other areas, but you only get there once you've gone that deep down. So it's a lot of journaling, and it can be 1 or 2 words. It's just so that you start asking yourself, oh, is that what's going on? Because you don't know what's going on under this iceberg in the subconscious mind, and it's our job to start digging it up. It's almost like going treasure hunting, start digging for that nice big chest of gold. Is we need to actually dig to get there. But often what happens is we just go and look and walk on the map, but we don't want to do the digging work. If it's under the sand, we have to dig. So your subconscious is under the sand. We're going to have to dig. We're going to have to get there. So this is something I want you to really focus in and sit and work on. Remember, I told you it's not just a walk in the park. You want to know why it hasn't been working? You want something in your life? This is the work that we're going to put in. The action point, we've already started it without you knowing. So you're going to write that. Let's just recap again. The 8 areas, you're going to score it 1 out of 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the least. Once you've gotten the 8 areas, what I want you to do is really reflect on each area. what do I want in that area? And on each one of those things that you wrote down in each area, so you could have 10 in one area or just one in one area, you have to write 7 levels of why do I want that. So what I will do is I'm going to make a little PDF document that you can fill in or give you an idea. So if you don't have to rewind this video and go and watch it again, that it gives you an idea of the 7 areas and how to actually fill this in. And just be real with yourself. Just really let yourself be real with yourself, even if it's uncomfortable. Just go there, start digging. Digging is never easy. When else have you taken a shovel and actually digged in the garden? It's quite hectic. You get tired. Well, you might get tired, you might get bored, but just keep going. And you're going to see massive, massive aha moments that's going to open up a different world to you. So, for day 1, that was a lot, right? Yes, until day 2, keep writing, keep journaling, go digging in that garden, go and find out what's going on in your brain. And love you terribly. Remember, you deserve phenomenal living. Yes, you do.